And the official spoiler season for Shadows over Innistrad has begun in full. And I gotta say, I liked. See, I'm not one of the people who disliked Battle for Zendikar or the Gatewatch. In fact, I'll probably pick some of that stuff up once I get some income in, because there's stuff I want out of those sets. But I'll say that it's not a fail, but there was missed opportunities. With this, flavor fucking home runs, man, and cards that look good, like really fucking good. I am astounded at how good, amazing some of these cards look. I mean, let's actually look over what's going on in these cards. So, first off, you should note that Mark Rosewater didn't actually do a video or a article on the Murder site today for Shadows over Innistrad. He actually did a what fans ask for about planes and where we're visiting and things like that, or like certain cards, which is a great article. I love that kind of article. And so I suggest checking that out if you get the chance. But then we get to the actual cards, and we get to the mechanics, and that spoiled a whole bunch of cards talking about how the mechanics work. So just over real quick, for those of you who didn't play the original Innistrad block. Transform cards are flip cards. They're cards of both sides. Now you can go one two ways. You can. How should I explain this without sounding like I'm stumbling? There's two side cards. One has the mono cost which you pay for. It's the card that starts out as. Though apparently they've revealed there's cards that you can play transformed, which are interesting. Which I'm guessing means that our Werewolf Planeswalker may be one of those cards. But the card with the mono cost is the card side you play. You cast that, and if you meet the transform requirement, then you transform the card to the card that it becomes. Some cards can transform back, some cards don't. Now, counters and equipment stay on the card because it's the same creature, but just transformed into a slightly different version of itself. So that's how transform works. And we also then they talk about madness. If you discard this card, pay its madness cost and activate whatever effect or play the creature, so forth. They talked about skulk. Creatures with lower power higher than, is it power lower or can't be blocked with creatures of greater power? Okay. So creatures with greater power. So in this case, they gave us a new card that's a 1/3. So any creature that's got 2 or greater power can't block this creature. So great. It's a standard little card. Delirium. 4 more card types, activate the effect, so forth and so on. Investigate, put a clue counter or clue artifact token to play, pay 2 of any color, draw a card. So, yeah, good stuff going all over from the mechanics. I think that's the vast majority of the mechanics they introduced, too. It was Transform, Delirium, Investigate, Skulk, and Madness. Yeah, there we go. So, like, 5 mechanics, good start. I can't wait to see what they bring into the next set. So then, going on to the actual cards, and now I've dilly-dallied enough. The article I'm reading right now is off of MTG Realm, so hopefully it's not making my computer... No, it's not making my computer lag, okay, because sadly, MTG Salvation makes my computer lag a little bit whenever I'm on that. So, right there, they revealed another thing about the double-sided face cards, which we were speculating when we saw Avacyn and when we saw our Werewolf Planeswalker, Arlen Cord, I believe. Is that there's 2 different double-sided face cards, which, by the way, brings the count up to... Actually, let me see if I can get that article up real quick, because I don't think that'll make my computer lag. I don't want to really make my computer lag if I can help it, so give me 1 second to get that article up. But they revealed that there was 2 double-sided face card stand-ins. One for the commons and uncommons, one for the rares and mythic rares. Makes perfect fucking sense, actually. We figured that's what the case was going to be, but that makes... complete in other sense. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, that being said, what if we can't find the stand-in like at the pre-release? That might be a little difficult to get around, but I think we can work around that. Because if you're using sleeves, that's not going to matter. Also should note, while I'm getting this article up right now, is that, there it is, that they showed the packaging for Shadows over Innistrad as well, and that it showed that the packs themselves have our Werewolf Planeswalker, a Vampire, Jace, and Sorin. So our 3 Planeswalkers for this set, and it now reveals basically what the entire block is going to be like for our Planeswalkers. This set, we get Sorin, Jace, and Werewolf Planeswalker. Next set, we get Liliana and Nahiri. And now I got the checklist up. That's 2, 3, 6, 9 other cards, which brings a total up to 33 double-sided face cards for this set. So that's pretty cool. That's a lot of double-sided face cards, and fans love double-sided face cards. We love flip cards to death. That is one of the things that we just clamor for. It's like, this was cool, this worked, awesome! And we're seeing it, and apparently new different ways are coming. So now that I blundered enough on that for about 5 minutes, let's actually talk about the cards. So first up, we have in our Transform roster, we have Thing in the Ice. It is one generic, one blue, horror, 0/4 defender, comes in with 4 ice counters, and when you cast a sorcerer against a spell, remove an ice counter from this card. If there are no ice counters, transform it, which then transforms into a 7/8 Kraken horror that when it transforms, awoken horror, return all non-horror creatures to owner's hands. Blowout fucking card right there. Turn 2, you can get it on turn 2. It can block for a little bit. Then as the game goes on, instants and sorceries, nothing hard to play. Play. You can get the madness costs off. You could I could realistically seeing you play this card turn 2 and at latest, in terms of how early you get it off. In theory, you could get it off in turn 3, but that takes a lot of mana ramp, which I'm not certain the standard of this will have. But turn 4, that's a completely realistic scenario, and then you just boom, and then you smash in with a 7/8. Beautiful card, I love it. That being said, it does look a lot like the Theros crab-looking. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was actually the intro rare or the pre-release. The pre-release and intro actually. So it was actually the pre-release intro rare for the blue box in Theros. So it looks a lot like that one, except deeper hue of blue. Overall, it looks good. This is, you want to talk about flavor. This is a flavor knockout. So we have Elusive Tormentor, which is pay 1 generic, discard a card, and transform this creature. It is a 2 generic, 2 black, 4/4 vampire wizard. So right there, it's good, it's cool, transform. But then it transforms into Insidious Mist, which has hexproof and destructible, and it cannot block or be blocked. It's a 0/1, but when it attacks and it is not blocked, you pay 2 generic and 1 black and transform it back into its 4/4 form. You want to talk about a flavor knockout on that. Vampire turning into mist and then turning back to attack someone. Jesus. Boom, right out of the park. But then you talk about an actual card and stuff. This is a scary, dangerous card. Okay, first off, you discard a card. Mass Enabler right there. Right there. So then it just turns into the mist. It attacks. And then it can't be blocked. So you transform it back into this vampire card. So right there, you got basically a 4/4 unblockable is what you got. Because it can't be blocked. And you transform it back and deal 4 damage. But not only that, it's pretty much indestructible so long as someone has a card in their hand to discard. Because they can just try to target this card. Nope, it's indestructible and hexproof. You can't do anything. Transform it back, and now I'm going to attack. It's like, oh no, it's like, I block you for 4. No, you don't. Is I just go in for the 4, then transform it back? If you got the mana to do it, it's an infinite cycle of pain. This thing is scary dangerous. I'm actually kind of freaking out how scary dangerous this is. Because if you try to block the 4/4, not only can they turn it into the 0/1 and just get around that to basically prevent destruction, but then they can get around that if they have enough mana to change it back into the 4/4 and deal the damage. That's nuts. That's flipping nuts. And so the black cards already. The 2 main black cards I've seen so far. The Heir of Falcon Wrath, which turns into the 3/2 Berserker on turn 1 if you decide to. This black is scary strong right now. Plus the demon. What was it? 1 second. Did they actually? I know they actually spoiled the dual decks version of it, but the artwork. But that demon alone is also pretty messed up. So right there, black is just scary in this set, and I've only seen 3 cards from it. Oh no, actually I take it back. I've seen 4 because one of them in 1 second. The computer. MTG Realm is not as bad, but it's still apparently got a bit of a problem. But anyway, so you know what? We'll just skip that. There we go. So, the 1/3 I talked about with Skulk is Farbog Revenant. The Revenant. Ooh, I want to see that thing with a zombie bear next to him. For those of you who haven't seen The Revenant, go see The Revenant. But that's 3 mana, 2 generic, 1 black, Skulk, I already explained Skulk, and Lifelink, 1 and 3. So, unless you got something with 1, it's pretty good tap, 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 ping, 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 life, life, life. Then they go over some of the other stuff they spoiled this weekend, which I've already gone over. Then we go into Just the Wind, a good another flavor knockout right there. You see a woman with a candle getting blown out, but it's just the wind. Turn a creature to its owner's hand. You can pay its mana. If it's discard, just discard 1 or pay 1 blue instead. It costs a blue and a generic. Fine card. Magnifying Glass, add 1 colorless to your mana pool, or you can pay 4 generic and investigate. And tap it and investigate. This costs 3. And it's a little magnifying glass looking at a very small eye on a woman's shoulder. So it's like she's possessed. That's pretty good. Ravenous Bloodseeker is a vampire berserker. And discard a card gets +1. Is it +1 or +2, -2, or plus... no, it's +2, -2. Okay. So it's not overly hacks, but it's still turn... I don't know, get it out on turn 2, turn 3, discard a card with madness. If it's a pump madness ability, which I'm certain there will be, you can just bump this thing up even bigger and then just swing for monstrous amounts of damage. Ugh. Also, they showed another werewolf, so should be noting on the werewolf that it is the Hinterland Logger 2/1. Same shtick as all werewolves, basically, except for our Planeswalker, who will eventually get spoiled. And it hasn't been spoiled yet, but she's probably going to have her own day of spoilers. 2/1, when you transform, turns into a 4/2 with trample. Solid, almost bear werewolf card. You play it. Then Reaper of the Flight Moonsilver. Evil Angels, man! It costs 3 generic, 2 white, flying, delirium, sacrifice another creature, and you get +2/+1 until the end of turn. Activate the ability only with the delirium cost, but does not give you a limit to how many times you can activate the ability. You get some tokens going, ramp that bitch up, boom! Flying, just haymaker. Actually, that's very reminiscent of Fallen Angel. Which I actually have a copy of, one of the older school versions of it. It's a black angel, and it's, again, a 3/3, which you sacrifice a creature or pay life. I can't remember which, and it gets +2/+1. This is actually basically this with delirium in white, but there's no limit to how many times you can do it. And in this age where we can ramp tokens like crazy and small creatures like crazy, yeah, it's pretty bad, or pretty good, actually, I should say. And then we have Shard of the Broken Glass. I think I covered this already, but no, it was one of the spoilers with the cathedral, with the map on Innistrad, which was a really cool idea of marking it for the Grand Prix before going into spoiler season. But equipped creature gets +1/+0. Whenever a creature attacks, you may put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, perfect for milling, for delirium. Costs only 1 generic, and equip 1 for generic, and it gives you a little boost. Perfectly fine card. Already went over Tamio's Journal. 3 eliminating cards. One of them is a story element card, you can tell. But the other 2, Thraben Investigator, or excuse me, Inspector, costs 1 white. 1 is a 1/2. When there's a battlefield, put a clue counter on, or investigate, put a clue counter out on the battlefield. So we all know what that does at this point. Good solid card. Got the draw, got the ramp, all that. Then the rare. Now this is something I want so bad because I love green and blue creatures. I love. And red creatures too. I like creatures in general, but green, blue, and red, and any combination of those are usually my bread and butter creatures. So, Soul Swallower. It's a worm for 2 generic, 2 green. Trample. Delirium. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 4 or more cards among your different types among in your graveyard, among cards in your graveyard, put 3 +1/+1 counters on Soul Swallower. So it's a continuous growing monster of a worm that there's no reason that with the milling in the set you couldn't get on when you summon this creature out. You couldn't have 3 to 4 cards of a different type in your graveyard as is. You probably won't, but anything's possible. I could definitely see on turn 4 to 5 though that happening, and then just bears grow. Screw Monogorge or Hydra. This thing is the scary fucker right here. Add the fact that it has trample. This thing, if you let this thing get big once, it's a 6/6. After that, you're screwed unless you can kill it. Which it doesn't have any sort of protection on it unless you give it, so it's entirely possible. But the last card that should be noted on is Warped Landscape. Add 1 colors to your mana pool, pay 2 generic, sacrifice it, and search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield, tap. So it's like an Evolving Wilds, more or less, but with a mana cost. Or Terraformific Expansion with a mana cost. But when you look at the... Now, see, I made a comment when I reviewed the trailer for Shadows over Innistrad that the artwork would... that there was points in the artwork, these shapes... These shapes of these like pointed, almost like snake-looking stone shapes, twisted, and or I thought they were like Avacyn altars that were morphed or things like that. But then you see who's standing in the photo. It's Nahiri. She's standing there holding her sword up. We know she's pissed at Sorin. We know she's fucking things up in Innistrad. And with the fact that she's probably going to be in the second set, Eldritch Moon, means that she may very well be the reason that she's maybe fucking with the moon. She honestly could be fucking with the moon itself. She is a lithomancer. She messes with stone. She creates stone artifacts. She created the hedron. She can do all this stuff with stone. We see her twisting this metal and stone into shapes, particular shapes, mind you. We see it's the same. We see the curvature that we saw kind of in that swamp picture I saw, or you see in the trailer, and that ring in the ocean with the glowing light, which again the moon maybe actually. But she's gunning for Sorin in this, and frankly, I'm wondering why she's so pissed at Sorin that she's literally going to destroy an entire plane, or at least completely fuck up an entire plane. And wow, I didn't realize this had gone this low. So basically, this entire video was me right here. I apologize for that. I didn't mean for that to happen, unfortunately. But yeah, that's oh man, As it pains me to say this because I'm kind of agreeing with a lot of people on this. Just the spoilers we've gotten so far for Shadows over Innistrad kind of beat the shit out of anything we saw in Battle for Zendikar and Oath of the Gatewatch. I don't mean to be mean towards it because I liked both those sets, but it's kind of true. I mean, just look at it from a flavor perspective. This has already beaten the crap out of all of those. So... I'm amazed. Really, I am. So, I mean, that's the first day of spoilers, and now I'm starting to lag. I know exactly why I'm starting to lag. Hold on. Oh, no, now it stopped. I guess I just had to factor a few things in there. So, there we go. Now I'm not lagging anymore. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on day 1 of Shadows over Innistrad spoilers. I guess the best way to say it is, for the time being, every day I'll have a Magic video up, or basically 5 days out of the week, I'll have a Magic video up to talk about spoilers. So, yeah, up until then, and then I'll talk about the pre-release, what I thought about it. So, yeah, that's how this is going to go down for the Magic videos for the time being. And then when that stops, I'll go back to other videos. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I probably won't get to watch Supergirl tonight because I'll be out. I'll watch it tomorrow or Wednesday. Probably Wednesday because I have that day off. Muppets are pretty much done for the time being. Some Muppet vlogs are done for now, assuming they may be done for good, assuming they don't bring the show back, which with declining views, it's looking like the show isn't even going to get a season finale. So, I mean, that could be a season finale with the last episode, but... yeah, it looks like they might not continue with the Muppets, which is a shame. Because I like the Muppets. Supergirl's doing well enough that she's probably going to get a second season. So that's good. But, yeah, it's a shame. But that being said, it frees me up to do other stuff in the week. Like, I got a Star Wars video to do tomorrow, too. So, there you go. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.